La explosión sacudió toda la nave espacial cuando Maya Rodríguez golpeó el suelo metálico con un sonido seco. Su casco se agrietó y el aire comenzó a escapar lentamente mientras la reina Zefira observaba desde su trono cristalino. Los ojos violetas de la soberana alienígena brillaron con satisfacción al ver el cuerpo inmóvil de la joven humana. Maya había sido capturada durante la última incursión terrestre en el sector Omega. Su uniforme azul de la flota espacial estaba desgarrado y manchado de sangre verde alienígena. La chica de 22 años había luchado ferozmente contra los soldados de Zefira durante 3 horas antes de ser finalmente sometida. La sala del trono se llenó de un silencio espeso. Los guardianes reptilianos de la reina permanecían inmóviles como estatuas while sus lenguas bífidas probaban el aire. Zefira se levantó de su asiento y caminó hacia el cuerpo caído. Sus 6 extremidades se movían con gracia felina sobre el suelo pulido. El planeta natal de Zefira orbitaba una estrella binaria que creaba patrones de luz extraños en el cielo. Su civilización había conquistado 17 sistemas solares en los últimos 50 años terrestres. Los humanos representaban su mayor desafío hasta ahora. Maya había infiltrado la nave nodriza para robar los códigos de navegación hiperespacial. Su misión era crítica para la supervivencia de las colonias humanas en el borde exterior, pero ahora yacía quieta, aparentemente sin vida, con los ojos cerrados y la respiración imperceptible. La reina alienígena extendió una de sus garras hacia el cuello de Maya. No detectó pulso. Una sonrisa cruel se formó en sus labios púrpuras. Los humanos eran más frágiles de lo que había esperado. Sus huesos se quebraban fácilmente y su carne se desgarraba sin resistencia. Zefira había estudiado la anatomía humana durante meses.
Conocía cada punto débil, cada vulnerabilidad.
Sin embargo, algo la intrigaba sobre esta especie. Su determinación parecía sobrenatural. Incluso cuando enfrentaban la muerte, continuaban luchando. Los datos de combate mostraban que los humanos poseían una resistencia psicológica extraordinaria. Donde otras especies se rendían, ellos encontraban nuevas formas de resistir. Esta característica los convertía en enemigos peligrosos y valiosos como especímenes de estudio. Maya había demostrado estas cualidades durante su interrogatorio.
Resistió las ondas mentales y los dispositivos de tortura sin revelar información vital.
Sus compañeros la llamaban Corazón de Acero por su inquebrantable determinación. La reina ordenó a sus guardias que llevaran el cuerpo a los laboratorios de investigación. Los científicos de su corte estaban ansiosos por examinar un espécimen humano fresco. Podrían aprender mucho sobre las capacidades físicas de esta especie guerrera. Mientras los soldados reptilianos levantaban a Maya, Zefira notó algo extraño. La temperatura corporal de la humana parecía más alta de lo normal para un cadáver, pero descartó esta observación como un efecto residual del combate reciente. La nave espacial continuó su curso hacia el centro del imperio alienígena. En las bodegas de carga, miles de prisioneros humanos esperaban su destino incierto. Maya era solo una más entre muchos, pero su valentía la había distinguido ante los ojos de la reina. Zefira regresó a su trono y activó los comunicadores cuánticos. Debía informar a sus generales sobre la exitosa captura de la infiltradora humana. Esta victoria enviaría un mensaje claro a la resistencia terrestre sobre la futilidad de sus esfuerzos. Pero en los pasillos fríos de la nave algo extraordinario estaba por suceder. El cuerpo de Maya, que todos creían sin vida, guardaba secretos que ningún alienígena podía imaginar. Su entrenamiento especial y las modificaciones genéticas experimentales estaban a punto de activarse de maneras que desafiarían todo lo que Zefira creía saber sobre los límites humanos. El cronómetro en su muñeca marcaba exactamente 37 minutos desde el momento del impacto. En las profundidades de la nave alienígena, algo increíble estaba por comenzar. Los ojos de Maya se abrieron en la oscuridad. La primera sensación que Maya Rodríguez experimentó fue el frío metal contra su mejilla. Su visión borrosa se aclaró gradualmente while evaluaba su situación. El laboratorio alienígena la rodeaba con sus instrumentos extraños y luces parpadeantes de colores imposibles. Sus manos estaban atadas con cables de energía que emitían un zumbido constante. Los alienígenas habían colocado sensores en varias partes de su cuerpo, monitoreando cada función vital. Maya controló su respiración para mantener las lecturas bajas mientras planificaba su siguiente movimiento. El protocolo de supervivencia extrema que había activado 37 minutos antes era una tecnología militar altamente clasificada. Su cuerpo había entrado en un estado de animación suspendida, que simulaba la muerte clínica perfecta. Solo un puñado de soldados de élite tenían acceso a estas modificaciones experimentales. Doc Clicks, el científico principal de Zefira, estudiaba las pantallas holográficas con expresión confundida. Los datos no coincidían con las lecturas anteriores del espécimen humano. Había anomalías en los patrones cerebrales que no podía explicar según su conocimiento de la biología terrestre. Maya observó discretamente el laboratorio a través de sus pestañas entrecerradas. Contó 4 científicos alienígenas y 2 guardias armados cerca de la entrada principal. Sus armas de plasma estaban configuradas en modo paralizante, no letal. Evidentemente querían mantenerla viva para más experimentos. Las modificaciones genéticas en su sistema muscular comenzaron a activarse silenciosamente. Sus fibras se tensaron y fortalecieron mientras nanobots militares reparaban el daño celular causado por el combate anterior. El proceso era imperceptible para los instrumentos alienígenas que no estaban diseñados para detectar tecnología humana avanzada. L. Clicks se acercó a la mesa de examen con un dispositivo de aspecto siniestro. La máquina emitía ondas de energía que podían mapear cada neurona en el cerebro humano. Maya sabía que si la conectaban a esa cosa, descubrirían sus secretos militares más profundos. El momento había llegado para actuar. Maya respiró profundamente y activó mentalmente la segunda fase del protocolo de supervivencia. Sus músculos se cargaron de adrenalina sintética, mientras su sistema nervioso entraba en modo de combate extremo. Con un movimiento explosivo, Maya rompió las ataduras de energía como si fueran papel. Los aliens retrocedieron sorprendidos mientras ella rodaba fuera de la mesa de examen. Sus movimientos eran fluidos y letales, enhanced by the military modifications running through her bloodstream. El primer guardia intentó disparar su arma de plasma, but Maya ya estaba en movimiento. Usando el impulso de su rollo, pateó el arma fuera de sus garras, while su puño conectaba con la mandíbula reptiliana. El sonido del hueso quebrándose resonó en el laboratorio silencioso.
Clicks gritó una alarma en su idioma alienígena while intentaba alcanzar un botón de emergencia.
Maya interceptó su movimiento y lo derribó con un golpe preciso en su cuello escamoso. El científico se desplomó inconsciente entre sus instrumentos destrozados. El segundo guardia era más experimentado y mantuvo su distancia, while disparaba ráfagas de energía controladas. Maya usó los equipos del laboratorio como cobertura, moviéndose entre las máquinas con agilidad sobrehumana. Sus sentidos, enhanced, le permitían predecir la trayectoria de cada disparo. Los otros científicos corrían hacia las salidas de emergencia, while sonaban las alarmas por toda la nave. Maya sabía que tenía minutos antes de que llegaran refuerzos masivos. Necesitaba encontrar una ruta de escape y completar su misión original. Con un salto acrobático, Maya alcanzó el techo del laboratorio y se impulsó hacia el guardia restante. Sus piernas se envolvieron alrededor de su cuello escamoso, while sus manos buscaban puntos de presión vital.
En segundos, el alienígena se desplomó sin sentido.
Maya recogió las armas de plasma caídas y verificó sus niveles de energía. Ambas estaban completamente cargadas. También tomó un comunicador alienígena y algunos dispositivos que podrían ser útiles más tarde. Su entrenamiento le había enseñado a improvisar con tecnología extraterrestre. Las puertas del laboratorio se sellaron automáticamente cuando las alarmas se activaron. Maya examinó el panel de control y notó que usaba un sistema biométrico based on thermal signatures. Presionó la garra del guardia inconsciente contra el sensor, y las puertas se abrieron con un siseo. The corridor beyond was filled with flashing emergency lights and the sound of running feet. Maya could hear alien voices coordinating search patterns through the ship's communication system. She had maybe 10 minutes before they systematically searched every section. Her mission parameters were clear: obtain the hyperspace navigation codes and return them to Earth Command. The data she needed would be stored in the ship's central computer core, heavily guarded and protected by multiple security layers. But Maya had advantages the aliens couldn't anticipate. Las mejoras genéticas le daban ventajas que ningún alienígena podía anticipar while she moved through the ship's corridors like a shadow. Maya pressed herself against the cold metal wall as footsteps echoed down the corridor. 3 reptilian soldiers passed her hiding spot, their thermal sensors sweeping back and forth in methodical patterns. Her body temperature regulation modifications kept her invisible to their detection equipment while she waited for them to move away. The ship's layout was more complex than Earth Command had anticipated. Maya consulted the stolen communicator, using its translation matrix to decode the alien navigation symbols. The central computer core was located 14 levels above her current position, protected by increasingly sophisticated security measures at each checkpoint. Her enhanced muscle fibers propelled her up the maintenance shaft with spider-like agility. The aliens had designed their ships for their own physiology, creating spaces too narrow for normal human movement. But Maya's modifications allowed her to compress and contort her body in ways that beat impossible for an unaugmented soldier. At level 7, she encountered her first major obstacle. A scanning array blocked the shaft, designed to detect any organic matter attempting to pass through Maya. Studied the energy patterns for several minutes, looking for weaknesses in the alien technology. The scanner operated on quantum frequencies that could map atomic structures in real time. However, the nanobots in Maya's bloodstream carried a countermeasure that her handlers had never expected to use. She activated the molecular dispersion protocol, allowing her body to temporarily phase between quantum states. The sensation was indescribable as her atoms shifted and realigned. For 20 seconds, Maya existed partially outside normal space-time while she passed through the scanner completely undetected. The technology was experimental and dangerous, with unknown long-term effects on human physiology. Back in normal space, Maya felt a wave of nausea and disorientation. Her enhanced healing factors quickly stabilized her cellular structure, but she knew she couldn't use that ability again without risking permanent damage. The human body wasn't designed for quantum manipulation, even with military modifications. Level 12 presented a different challenge entirely. Gravity fields shifted randomly throughout the section, designed to disorient intruders and prevent unauthorized access. Maya watched the patterns for several minutes, calculating the timing sequences that governed the gravitation changes. Her augmented reflexes and spatial awareness allowed her to navigate the shifting forces like a dancer moving through invisible music. When gravity pulled left, she was already moving right. When it reversed completely, she used the momentum to propel herself toward her destination with inhuman precision. The central computer core finally came into view on level 14. The chamber was massive, filled with crystalline structures that pulsed with stored information. Holographic displays showed star maps spanning multiple galaxies, including detailed charts of human-controlled space that made Maya's blood run cold. Queen Zephira's invasion plans were more extensive than Earth's command had realized. The alien empire intended to attack 17 human colonies simultaneously, using the hyperspace routes to coordinate their assault with devastating precision. Maya's mission had suddenly become more critical than anyone had imagined. 2 elite guards flanked the computer core, their weapons charged and ready. These weren't ordinary soldiers, but members of Zephira's personal guard, enhanced with cybernetic implants and advanced combat training. Maya would need every advantage her modifications provided to overcome them. She created a distraction by overloading a power coupling in the adjacent chamber. Sparks flew and alarms sounded as one guard moved to investigate the electrical failure. Maya used the moment to strike, her plasma weapon set to maximum stun as she engaged the remaining sentinel. The alien guard was faster than she had anticipated, its cybernetic enhancements allowing it to move with mechanical precision. Maya dodged its return fire by milliseconds, rolling behind a crystalline data pillar as energy bolts scorched the air around her. Her human intuition gave it an edge that no artificial enhancement could replicate. While the guard calculated optimal firing solutions, Maya acted on instinct and experience. Bouncer next shot off 3 surfaces before it struck the alien's weapon, disabling it completely. The second guard returned to find his partner unconscious and Maya already interfacing with the central computer.
Air military training included Shino technology infiltration techniques, allowing her to navigate alien systems with surprising efficiency. Data flowed through her consciousness as she located the hyperspace navigation files.
The information was vast and complex, containing not just routes but defensive positions, supply lines, and communication protocols for the entire alien fleet. Maya began the download process while keeping watch for additional security forces. The stolen data would give Earth Command the intelligence needed to mount an effective defense against Zephyr's planned invasion, but she still needed to escape the ship and transmit the information back to human space.
A new alarm began sounding throughout the vessel. Queen Zephyra had discovered her prisoner's resurrection and was mobilizing every available soldier to recapture the human infiltrator.
Maya could hear heavy footsteps approaching from multiple directions as her download reached 90% completion. The computer core's defenses suddenly activated, recognizing the unforced access attempt. Energy barriers sprang up around Maya, while automated systems tried to purge her connection to the data banks. Her nanobots worked frantically to maintain the link, while hostile programs attacked her interface protocols. With seconds to spare, the download completed successfully. Maya disconnected from the alien computer and prepared for the most dangerous part of her mission: getting off the ship alive while carrying information that could save humanity from extinction. El rugido de Queen Zephyra resonó por toda la nave cuando descubrió que su prisionera humana había escapado. Sus 6 extremidades se agitaron violentamente, mientras sus ojos violetas brillaban con una furia incontrolable. La soberana alienígena había subestimado gravemente las capacidades de Maya Rodríguez. En su cámara real, Zephyra activó todos los sistemas de seguridad disponibles. Campos de energía sellaron cada sección de la nave while escuadrones de soldados de élite comenzaron búsquedas sistemáticas. La reina había gobernado 17 sistemas solares conquering especies tras especies, but ninguna la había humillado de esta manera. Los reportes llegaban constantemente desde diferentes niveles de la nave. Maya había dejado un rastro de guardias inconscientes y sistemas saboteados en su camino hacia el núcleo central. Sus movimientos mostraban un conocimiento de tecnología alienígena que desafiaba toda lógica conocida. Pick se recuperó lentamente en el laboratorio destruido. His mandíbula fractured and his pride shattered. Los datos que había recopilado sobre el espécimen humano fueron completamente incorrectos. Esta criatura poseía habilidades que excedían todos los parámetros conocidos para su especie. Maya navegaba por los conductos de ventilación con gracia felina, usando su conocimiento robado de los planos de la nave. Los alienígenas habían diseñado su arquitectura para sus propias dimensiones corporales, creando espacios que un humano normal no podría atravesar. But las modificaciones de Maya le daban ventajas inesperadas. El hangar de naves de escape estaba localizado en el nivel más bajo de la vessel. Maya necesitaba llegar allí sin ser detectada while evitando los crecientes números de patrullas de seguridad. En Enhanced Hearing permitía escuchar las conversaciones alienígenas through the ship's walls, giving her advance warning of approaching enemies. Commander Vrex, el oficial de seguridad principal de Zephyra, había implementado un protocolo de lockdown total. A escape pods fueron deshabilitadas remote, while defensive systems prepared to prevent any unauthorized departure. The alien military leader había enfrentado muchos intentos de escape, but ninguno tan sofisticado como este. Maya alcanzó un punto de observación overlooking el hangar principal. Docenas de soldiers reptilianos patrullaban el área while técnicos trabajaban frantique para sellar todas las rutas de salida. However, Maya había notado algo durante su download from el computer core. Había una nave de reconocimiento experimental en el hangar secundario. The Smaller Craft utilizaba tecnología de sigilo avanzada que podría evitar los sensores de la nave principal. Valla's military training incluía piloting xenotechnology, aunque she había never flown una nave alienígena real. The risk was enormous, but permanecer aboard significaba captura segura y probable muerte. Los nanobots en su bloodstream comenzaron a metabolize el stress chemicals, while Maya calculated her next move. The secondary hangar was located 3 levels down from her current position, accessible through maintenance tunnels that weren't monitored by primary security systems. She dropped silently into a ventilation shaft and began her descent toward the experimental craft. The metal surfaces were sleek with condensation from the ship's atmospheric processors, making each movement treacherous despite her enhanced balance and coordination.
Halfway through her journey, Maya encountered an unexpected obstacle.
A maintenance robot was conducting routine repairs in the tunnel ahead, its multiple arms working on damaged circuits. The machine's sensors would certainly detect her presence if she attempted to pass. Maya estudió el robot durante varios minutos, analizando its movement patterns and operational protocols. These maintenance units operaban on predictable cycles, following programmed routines que she could potentially exploit. Waiting for the right moment, she activated a minor power fluctuation en un circuit distante. The robot immediately responded to the false alarm, moving away from her position to investigate the fabricated malfunction. Maya deslizó silenting and continued her descent while the automated unit worked on non-existent damage several levels above. El hangar secundario appeared below her as Maya reached the final access point. The experimental stealth craft sat alone in the center of the chamber, its hull shimmering con cloaking technology que bent light around its surface. 2 technical specialists trabajaban in external systems, but no guards were visible. Maya dropped from the access panel with failing grace, landing soundlessly on the hangar floor. Her enhanced muscle fibers absorbed the impact while she evaluated the tactical situation. The technicians were focused on their trabajo y wouldn't notice her unless she made noise or movement. She approached the craft from behind, using equipment lockers as cover while studying its configuration. The alien design was elegant pero unfamiliar, with control surfaces y propulsion systems that differ significantly from human engineering.
Maya would need tiempo to understand its operation before attempting escape.
One of the technicians moved toward her position, carrying diagnostic equipment back to storage. Maya pressed herself against a support beam, controlling her breathing while the alien passed within meters of her location.
Air heart rate remained steady despite the proximity to Discovery.
With the technician gone, Maya moved to the craft's entry hatch.
The access panel required biometric authorization, but her stolen communicator contained override codes she had downloaded from the central computer.
The hatch opened with a soft hiss, revealing the ship's interior. Pilot's compartment was designed for alien physiology, but Maya's enhanced flexibility allowed her to adapt to the unfamiliar configuration. Control interfaces were intuitive despite their foreign appearance, using universal symbols y logical arrangements que transcend the species barriers. Power systems activated smoothly as Maya initiated the startup sequence. The engines comenzaron a warm up while cloaking generators charged to full capacity. Within minutes, the craft would be ready for departure, but she still needed to exit the hangar without triggering massive defensive responses. Suddenly, alarms began sounding throughout the secondary hangar. Someone había discovered her presence, possibly through the extended absence of the maintenance robot she había misdirected. Hangar doors began sealing automatically while defense systems powered up to prevent her escape. Maya pushed the experimental craft systems to their limits, engaging full power before the engines had completed their warming cycle. The stealth ship lifted off violently, its hull scraping against closing hangar doors as she guided it through the narrow opening with desperate precision. Emergency claxons echoed through space as Queen Zephyra's flagship realized the human prisoner had stolen one of their most advanced vessels. Maya encontró herself racing through an asteroid field, while alien fighters scrambled to intercept her escape route. The real chase había only just begun. space erupting into chaos around Maya as Queen Zephyra's fighters launched from multiple hangar bays. Their weapon systems painted targeting locks across her stolen craft, while she dove between massive asteroids, using their bulk to break weapon locks and avoid incoming fire. The experimental stealth ship handled differently than any human vessel she had piloted. Its controls responded to thought patterns rather than manual input, creating an interface between her consciousness and the craft's navigation systems. Maya felt her enhanced neural pathways adapting to the alien technology with remarkable speed. Commander Brex led the pursuit squadron personally, his hatred for the escaped human driving him to take unnecessary risks. Each fighter weaved through the asteroid field with mechanical precision, while his wingmen spread out to prevent Maya from reaching open space. All units maintain pursuit vectors, Brex transmitted to his pilots. Queen Zephyra wants this human captured alive, but if capture becomes impossible, you are authorized to destroy the vessel and recover the stolen data from the wreckage. Maya understood enough of their language through her communicator's translation matrix to realize her situation had become even more desperate. The information she carried could save billions of human lives, but only if she could transmit it back to Earth Command before being destroyed or recaptured. Air stolen craft stealth systems were sophisticated beyond human technology, bending electromagnetic radiation around the hull to create near-perfect invisibility. However, the pursuit fighters were equipped with quantum resonance detectors specifically designed to counter their own cloaking technology. Banking sharply around a spinning asteroid, Maya activated every countermeasure available while pushing her engines beyond their recommended operational limits. The alien craft responded with power reserves that exceeded human engineering capabilities, but its unfamiliar systems required constant adjustment and adaptation. Weapons fire erupted around her position as Brex's squadron coordinated their attack patterns. These weren't random shots, but precisely calculated strikes designed to herd her toward predetermined intercept points where escape would become impossible.
Maya's enhanced reflexes allowed her to process combat information faster than any normal human.
She saw patterns in the enemy formation that revealed weaknesses, gaps in their coordination that could be exploited with perfect timing and desperate courage. Rolling inverted, Maya dove toward the asteroid field's densest region, where gravitation anomalies created navigation hazards for larger vessels. Her smaller craft could maneuver through spaces impossible for the pursuing fighters. The stolen ship's AI systems began providing tactical recommendations directed to Maya's consciousness through their neural interface. She could feel the alien computer calculating optimal escape routes while monitoring enemy positions and weapon charges in real time. Brex Reales, his quarry, was heading for the gravitational maze and ordered his squadron to split formation. Half would follow through the dangerous passage while the others positioned themselves at likely exit points. The human had shown remarkable piloting ability, but she couldn't escape basic tactical mathematics. Maya felt the gravitational fields tugging at her craft as she entered the maze's outer regions. Massive asteroids created tidal forces that could tear apart unwary vessels, while electromagnetic storms interfered with sensor readings and communication systems. Her neural connection to the ship deepened as they penetrated further into the hazardous zone. Maya began to understand the craft's capabilities on an instinctive level, feeling its responses to her thoughts and intentions as if it had become an extension of her enhanced body. Two pursuing fighters followed her into the gravitational maze, their pilots skilled enough to navigate the initial obstacles. However, Maya led them toward a cluster of charged asteroids where electrical storms created a deadly obstacle course for anything with active power systems. Lightning arced between the floating mountains of rock and metal as Maya wove through passages barely wider than her craft's wingspan. Behind her, one of the pursuing fighters struck a charged surface and exploded in a brilliant flash that illuminated the surrounding asteroids. Surviving pilot broke off pursuit and retreated to rejoin the main squadron. Maya had gained temporary breathing room. But her fuel reserves were depleting rapidly under the demands of high-performance maneuvering. She needed to reach transmission range soon or her mission would fail, regardless of escape. Queen Zephyra monitored the pursuit from her flagship's command center, her fury growing with each report of the humans' continued evasion. This single escape prisoner threatened to undermine years of strategic planning and preparation for the invasion of human space. Deploy the gravity nets, she commanded her tactical officers. If conventional pursuit cannot stop her, we will trap her like the animal she is. Massive projector ships moved into position around the asteroid field, generating intersecting fields of gravitational force designed to create an inescapable prison. Maya's stolen craft would be caught in artificial gravity wells that could crush her vessel or hold it motionless for recapture. The gravity nets activated just as Maya cleared the asteroid maze inner region.
Her ship's proximity alarm screamed warnings as space-time itself began warping around her position. The escape vectors vanished one by one as the alien technology created an impenetrable cage of distorted physics.
Maya realized she had perhaps minutes before the gravity fields reached sufficient strength to trap her permanently. The transmission equipment in her stolen craft could reach human space from her current position, but she would need to drop her stealth systems to generate enough power for interstellar communication. The choice was simple, but terrible: maintain concealment and hope for escape, or sacrifice her life to ensure the vital intelligence reach Earth Command. Maya thought of the billions of humans who would die if Zephyra's invasion proceeded unopposed, and her decision crystallized with absolute clarity. She shut down the cloaking systems and diverted all available power to the communication array, knowing the action would immediately reveal her position to every enemy ship in the area. Air-enhanced fingers flew over alien controls as she prepared to transmit the stolen hyperspace codes back to human civilization. The transmission began just as Brex's squadron locked onto her position and opened fire with everything they had.